Okay, so I'm back with a review of Carnivale Season 1, Episode 2. Okay, I said I was going to get a little fancier with the graphics, but if I do that, just know that these videos will not happen, okay? Maybe in the future episodes I will get more fancy with the graphics, but right now you have my voice in a picture. Alright, so this episode starts off with Ben and brother Justin having the same dream where they go to a diner, sit at the bar, drink some coffee, and then in comes a guy in a top hat and a tuxedo, and this person sits down to a ready-made fancy meal, and the waitress brings over some wine, and then a soldier, dirty soldier, comes in, walks in, sits right across from the man in the top hat. And they're sitting there drinking or eating, and then when they toast with their wine, a bomb goes off, and then both Ben and brother Justin wake up from that disturbing dream. So that is pretty weird. And also, the waitress said to them right before the bomb went off, she says, every prophet in his house, which is very ominous. And then we go to a scene with the prostitutes touring with Ben, the dancers / prostitutes, which it appears to be a family of prostitutes because she calls her ma. Libby calls Rita ma, and then another scene later shows them at a table with Rita and their father. I think she said that was her father. And then Libby and her sister. Her mom was trying to get her to stop eating so much because she won't be able to be in the coochie tin or something they called it. Something weird. This was just let me think this is a family of prostitutes or, family of ex-workers. And they seem perfectly fine with that. And then we go to Sophie and her mother, who is a vegetable, appears as a vegetable. The body is a vegetable, but the mind and whatever mystical power she has is working very fine. And she wants Sophie to try to get Ben to come in again for a reading. And then it goes to where Clayton, who goes by Jonesy, Jonesy tricks Ben by telling him to go to tell him he's in charge of the baggage trailer, and he goes and he looks for the baggage trailer, this is obviously a joke, but happens to be a baggage trailer that appears behind the camp, and Ben goes in and it's a weird trailer. There's a baby in a jar, like an unborn baby in a jar. It looks like a fetus, but further along than a fetus, maybe probably what it would look like for a 6-month pregnancy. Like if it was still in the womb, but it put inside of a jar. Very creepy. And then he takes down one of the trunks and opens it up, and the top hat and the tuxedo that the man in his dream wore was inside this suitcase. And on the tuxedo, there's blood splatter. And then there's a picture in there, which I found out later is a picture of his mother in front of a sign that says, it's a trailer, and then on the trailer there's a sign that says Big Sky Falls. And on the back it says HS and Flow. And then the door slams behind him like a gust of wind. So he takes the photo with him and leaves the trailer, and the camera shows that same unborn baby in a jar, opens his eyes and it blinks. Crazy weird. And then he goes back, and then everybody's laughing because it's a big joke because there's not a baggage trailer. And Samson tells Ben that they're playing with him or whatever. And Ben tells him, but there is a baggage trailer. And he was like, well, show me. And he takes him back there. Of course, it disappeared. And then Ben was like, but I got this out the trailer. And he shows him a picture. And then Samson was like, Samson has this weird expression, but he doesn't say anything. He makes it seem like the picture doesn't mean anything to him. And then, and Ben act like it doesn't mean anything to him either. But when Samson asked could he hold on to it, Ben said no, and he put it back in his pocket, and that was that. And then when Samson goes to the management trailer, and he looks in a photo album, and he finds the same picture that Ben just took from that mysterious trailer. And then he asks someone that is behind curtains, which is, I'm assuming, the management, which is very Wizard of Oz-esque. And he said, what are you up to? Of course, there's no response. They can't let us see the wizard just yet. And Brother Justin, okay, it goes back to Brother Justin, and he is, they're about to leave to go to church, and when he walks past the door, he sees the woman that he lives with, gets out the shower, you can see her naked. It parallels when Ben saw the mother of the strong man, getting out the outdoor shower, and he was just staring at her, and, he was staring at her. It didn't look lusty. It was strange. Okay, I didn't know that was his sister until later. And then yeah. So at church, they're all singing hymns, and then there's this group in the back of really dirty people compared to everybody else around them. I later learned that they're migrants or migrant workers, I guess. They're called some other things I don't remember. But everybody there is like being real, giving them nasty looks and disgusted that they're there, invading their space. I'm guessing they don't smell so great because they looked very dirty. And one of the ladies' name is Eleanor. I'm guessing she is the one that was coming to the church, and then she just brought her family with her. She's their grandmother, and she introduced them all to Brother Justin, saying that he has done so much for her faith or whatever. And then, but the other congregation members are politely irritated, and lets it be known, and let it whatever. But then we go to where we see Clayton, also known as Jonesy. He gets jealous when he sees Sophie sit with Ben to eat, because he obviously has a crush on Sophie. But Sophie, she seems like she may like Ben, but her whole reasoning was try to get him to come back for a reading, and he says no. He thinks her mother is creepy, and that when she was saying that her mother won't shut up, he said your mother is a turnip or something like that, basically a vegetable, and Sophie gets mad and goes away, but he eats her food. So, and then the bearded lady said when the blind man, I think his name is Luds, he was talking with the bearded lady, and he said, do you think there's an attraction there between Sophie and Ben? And the bearded lady said, maybe from Sophie, but from him, he doesn't know how to treat a woman. Maybe he needs some help from an older, more experienced woman. And Lutz said, it'll kill you. And then she was like, I doubt a smile on myself. He's on my face. And he said no. He was very serious. So he knows something. And he's also kind of creepy through this episode. And then Iris takes Brother John to the diner from his dream to meet with another preacher. And the same song that was playing in the diner earlier in the beginning of the episode in their dream was playing when they went into the diner this time. And it also played, I think, another time in the middle of the episode. So that's like 3 times the song played. I don't know what it is. And the waitress is also the same, so that surprised Brother Justin. He was just like, wow. And then the other preacher was talking about how God chooses one man to come and, do something. But he was talking about Babe Ruth or something like that. But Brother Justin took it to heart to meet him because of all these things that happened. And I don't think I mentioned in the first video about Brother Justin, having the blood rain and seeing chins in a vision. But yeah, that happened. So so after the diner scene, we're back with Sophie's mom, and she is they show Sophie and her mom with customers, and apparently Sophie's mom is the one who is the psychic, who is doing the readings, and Sophie is just reading it based off what her mother says to her. And the fact that Sophie can hear her mother, that's a very I don't know, clairaudient thing. So she still has a gift, but it's not like her mom's. And her mom is refusing to do the reading because the only reading that she wants is from Ben. So Sophie cancels the reading because she says she's not seeing anything, but basically it's because her mother is being mute. So, and then it shows Ben again staring at the strong man's mom. He has a crush on her. It's obvious at this point. Before it was just like he was looking at a naked woman, but the way he's looking at her, he has a crush on her. And also it could be because he has like a mother thing. He wants someone that's nurturing along with having a crush on her. That's what it seems like. And one of the congregation members from Brother Justin's church, Mr. Templeton, came to his house to complain about the dirty migrants, and Brother John wants Mr. Templeton to donate that Chin's place that he saw in his blood rain vision to him. And Mr. Templeton thinks it's hilarious, and he kept saying no. Then Brother Justin touched him, and then they had a vision of what Mr. Templeton is up to at Chin's, and it shows his nefarious and pedophilic activity there. And he is so shamed that he donated it to Brother Justin. It was highly disturbing, this man. And then we go to Lud and Samson, and Lud is having some lovely absinthe. I think that's how you pronounce it. I had it before. It's very interesting. It is very interesting. They call it the green fairy, and boy, is it furious. That's not a word, but it's magical. And Luds love that green fairy with the sugar cube, and yeah, he loves it. And okay, so him and Samson are talking about Ben, and the Lud says he's something special. Ben and Samson thinks he's just a dud, and Ben Lud let him know that he saw someone named Scudder in Ben's dream when he checked it before, and it made him feel ill. Lud's when Ben says, "Well, Scudder's dead, so it doesn't matter." Samson says Scudder's dead, so it doesn't matter. But Lud says, no, he's alive. And Lud suggests that they head south. But Samson said the circuit goes north. So what I'm guessing is that the way the carnival circuit goes, it goes south in the winter and north in the summer, so it could be less hot, at this time before global warming just changed it for us. But that seems like the trail that they're going, so it could be less hot. And Lud says that you should still tell management what's happening, because management doesn't listen to Luds anymore after an event that happened in St. Louis, and I'm guessing this is not a good event. And Samson's like, things have changed since St. Louis, and Luds is unconvinced and said they should still go south, but Samson says no, they're going north. And then he also something that Les said that stood out is that he told Samson that the circuit is just an excuse. You know this. What? Because it seemed like this was their whole business, the circuit, the carnival circuit. But he said it's just an excuse. So it's obviously something else. I thought that even though they were covering up all their little magical abilities, I didn't know that it was something more than just them living their life and in the circuit of the carnival circuit. But apparently it's something more, and that the circuit is just an excuse for something else, or just like a cover up, I'm guessing. And then that's when Samson leaves Luds. And then Luds goes to talk to Sophie's mom, which, okay, up until this point, I didn't think of Luds as a nefarious character. I didn't think of him as a bad character. The worst character so far in this show has been Mr. Templeton, who was obviously a PDF and a terrible human being all around with this Chin's enterprise that he had working. But I didn't think of Luds as a nefarious character until this conversation that he had with Sophie's mom. And he says that they're stronger together and he wants to be let in. And Sophie's mom reacts in a negative way, shaking the trailer. And Sophie barges in and tells him to get the hell out. And he said, that's what I'm going to do. And then he told her mom that she gave him no choice. She gives him no choice. And I'm thinking, like, what? It is so odd. And then her mom is still disturbed by his presence. She starts throwing things, and Sophie leaves because she says she's tired of her mom's temper tantrums. So that happens, and that just made me think in a nefarious way about Luds now, because of the way, the way Sophie's mom reacted to him, and him wanting to be let in. That's very like a demonic thing, or like a parasitic thing. It's weird. And then it goes to Ben going to sleep on the ground under the trailer where he slept before. And it says Ben, and then Ben has another dream, but it's just a dream of the soldier. It's like some type of, like, the war is happening. And then suddenly the soldier is in something that looks like a trailer. And then a bear comes in with a bellboy red hat type thing. And then of course he wakes up because what the hell, a bear? And then when he wakes up, he sees Sophie's mom coming towards him. Man, when I tell you, that woman looked creepy as heck walking in that shadow until she came to light. And I was like, what the hell? And she walks up to him and she said, "You're the one." Famous words of a lot of shows like this. You're the one. Okay, he's the one for something, okay? Hopefully we get something significant from this scene, because we don't want another situation like Lost or Game of Thrones. But, like, this is only 2 seasons, but I'm hoping that they have a lot of meat in it, especially since this is an older show and it's not as poorly written as a lot of shows we're seeing today. So after that, when Sophie comes screaming looking for her, she passes out, and everybody thinks that Ben does something. He gets a little roughed up, and then Samson comes out of the management trailer, says everybody to calm down, and that Ben didn't do anything, and also they're heading south. So, and then Lutz is all lurking in the corner, like, looking weird. And after that happens, and the strongman's mom and also Ben's crush cleans him up in her trailer. And that's when Ben shows her the photo of Flora, his mother, and asks her, does she know her? And she was like, oh, she said, that's Hack's sweetheart. And Hack's gutter. And he said, did you meet her? He's like, no, but Hack used to always carry a picture of her around. And then she shows him a picture of Hack. And he is the man in the top hat and tuxedo from the beginning of the episode in the dream that Brother Justin and Ben shared. And he was in something called a geek show. And he was like, whoa. And then he informs her that Flora is his mother. And she seems very intrigued by this. And she's looking at him very curiously. Which before she was looking at him as potential, Stella got a groove back situation. But after this, she looked at him in a different way. More intrigued on a different level. And then Brother Justin, then we go to Brother Justin's visiting Chins, and he's visualizing himself with his new congregation, his new flock. And then he goes home and tells his sister, and then he goes to bed, to his bedroom, and does stigmata. I think that's what it's called when you self harm in the name of the Lord. So stigmata, which it looked like he was like a Baptist type of Christian church. It didn't seem Catholic, but maybe it was Catholic. Maybe it just looked that way. Maybe all the churches looked that way back then. Who knows? But anyway, he did stigmata in front of a cross that hung over his bed, while our sister sat down with music, even though she could hear him upstairs. And then the episode ends with Ben walking and seeing the red hat, the red like bellboy hat that the bear had on in his dream. He sees it hanging on the management trailer, and he's rightfully confused. And that's the end of that episode. I think that this show is very interesting. It caught my attention so much, and I'm just so curious to see what happened. I'm forcing myself to keep coming back and doing this this little talk through of a review of the episodes, because I really wish that someone would do it for every show I like, because I like hearing other people's thoughts and different views. And like sometimes when I look at people talk about shows and by episode, they say things that I didn't connect. So I'm doing this and like kind of like my contribution to all the people who've done it that I've enjoyed. So I'll see whoever is listening. I'll see you back here for episode 3. Thanks.